And I'm a little worried about your guys. So tough night for the Lakers Saturday. Not only did they lose to the Celtics in primetime in Boston, they've lost LeBron James with 6 minutes left in the fourth with a groin injury. He's expected to miss at least 1 or 2 weeks with a groin strain, sources told our Shams Charania on Sunday. Now, the Lakers have one of the hardest remaining schedules in the league. That, according to our ESPN analytics, and they face the prospect of facing teams like the Nuggets and the Bucks twice in the next week and a half without LeBron. All right, let's bring in our guy, Brian Windhorst. Windy, good morning. Thank you for being with us. Shannon, I'm coming to you first. Obviously, as a Lakers fan, what's your level of concern for your squad?
I'm concerned. I don't think when LeBron left, they were the 2 seed. I'm not so sure they're going to be the 2 seed guys once he returns back. If you go back and look at the schedule, and LeBron complained about this, I think they played about 7 games since February the 25th. And you're like, well, they've been doing that. But 40-year-olds that you're asking to play 38 minutes a night, and even though the load has been lessened by the arrival of Luka and the emergence of AR, he's still putting up big-time numbers. He's still doing an awful lot, and he almost, he's 1 assist away from a triple-double. So you're asking a lot from a guy that's 40 years of age to play at the level in which he's playing at. So I think that's concerning. We just saw this, the rest of the schedule, a lot of the schedule up on the screen. Played a lot of games in back-to-back days. I'm concerned because I'm not so sure that they're going to be at, well, I know for certain they're not going to be at 2 once he comes back. You're just trying to hold in and to make sure you don't slide past the 6th spot. You see the Warriors, they're emerging, but I'm not overly concerned. But I do think they're going to slide down. We see Memphis starting to do a little something. Houston is taking a kind of dip towards the other way. But I'm concerned for the simple fact, and this is why you got Luka. You believe Luka is a guy that can dominate the game and can take the game over on a consistent basis. Now it's time for him to do that. AR is going to have to play big minutes, going to have to play really well, but the auxiliary players are going to have to play even better than when LeBron was there.
Well, here's the deal. Shannon Sharpe, I know, Wendy, you were supposed to go, but damn it, I'm jumping ahead of you because Shannon Sharpe said something, and I'm alarmed. You know, he said up there, he says he doesn't know. He's concerned about the Lakers falling out of number 2 seed. Here's what the hell you need to be concerned about. You need to be concerned about them Oklahoma City Thunder. That's what you need to be concerned about. It ain't about them falling out because LeBron's going to be out for 2 weeks. You need to be concerned about the Oklahoma City Thunder and the fact that they're going to take your Lakers and bounce their ass out of there. That's what you need to be concerned about, Shay.
Stephen A. Whoa, Stephen A. Didn't I tell you a healthy LeBron, a reinvigorated Luka with AR.
Hold on, can I say it for you?
Matter.
Can I say it for you? Can I say it for you?
Yeah.
OKC,
what?
UFC, UFC.
No.
What is it?
Yeah. No. Hey, Wendy, I got one better. I don't look here. You can say SGA, PGA, USA. Lakers at 5.
I can't believe he's given them 1 game. Why wouldn't you say 4, Shannon? Why 5?
Lakers at 5.
We give them 5. They're going to get the first one at home.
Okay, sure. Why not? Why not? They're on their way to 70 wins. Actually, first off, I'm actually kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see the proper finish of that game Saturday night because the Lakers made a run.
Yes,
they made a run.
And if LeBron had been able to come in for his last shift,
he might have gotten away. Considering the way Luka was rolling. I mean, he might have gotten away. I mean, against Boston, they did look a bit overwhelmed for the vast majority of 4 quarters.
Boston has a tendency to
up and
get
down.
by
You're
20.
Right.
They probably win the game anyway. I'm just saying we were a little bit robbed.
They were going to win the game.
All right, so this injury happens at a bad time and a good time. Yep. There's a month left in the regular season. So there is time for LeBron to get through this injury, assuming it's not severe, and he was hopeful that it was not severe on Saturday night. There's time for him to get through this injury and recover for the playoffs. The bad news is that this hits in a spot in the schedule that just, compounds the issue. They are probably, even if they were at full strength, which it's not just LeBron who's out. Rui Hachimura is out. Jackson Hayes is now dealing with the sore knee. And not that Jackson Hayes is Will Chamberlain, but Jackson Hayes was performing very well in the role that he was in. And when they didn't have him the other night and they didn't have Rui Hachimura, they just looked really, really small. And so it's not just LeBron. They started Jared Vanderbilt at center, and there were stretches of that game where LeBron was playing center. Okay, so they're just going to be really small. The second thing is, they play Brooklyn tonight in Brooklyn. They got to get that win. Then they play this stretch, guys, where they play 6 games in 10 days. It's actually not something that normally happens in the NBA schedule. They have a week next week. Now, it's all here in LA. where they play 5 games in 7 days, 4 and 5 nights. Those were banned by Commissioner Adam Silver, but the reason they got to do it is because they have a rescheduled game from the Fires. The Spurs are coming back out here. And so I don't think that even if they were fully healthy, LeBron and Luka were playing all those games. There's going to be a couple of games in there where they were just going to have to maybe shut some guys down and rest them because they just can't play them that many minutes. Luka's still coming off of this calf injury. So what I'm saying to you is the Lakers were going to take some losses anyway. The other thing is pay attention to what's going on behind them. Yesterday, Denver loses Aaron Gordon to a calf injury. It's the 3rd time he's had this calf injury this year. They haven't given him imaging yet. We haven't got a result. But the last 2 times he missed 3 weeks. So Denver took a setback last night. The Grizzlies are dealing without Jaren Jackson Jr. for a couple of weeks with an ankle injury. And the 2 biggest players in the next 2 weeks in the Western Conference are Luka Doncic, because of what Shannon said, he's got to score, and Ja Morant. Ja Morant was complaining about his shoulder, said he shouldn't play, got challenged by his coach. You got to play through it. With where we're at, we got to play through it. He had 2 30-point games. The Grizzlies have a chance to make a move.
Well, listen, and I'm glad you brought that up about Ja Morant because his shooting percentage didn't look great, particularly in the first half. It was terrible. But then he came on strong in the second half over the weekend, and give him credit where credit is due because he's dealing with that shoulder injury. That's number 1. Number 2, LeBron James, let's be fair to him here. In the games that he's played in the 7th season, Shannon, Wendy, as a Laker, they're like 66 games over 500, 59% winning percentage. Without him, they're 20 games below 500. So we got to take that into consideration and say, okay, now we're going to find out what Luka is. I think this could actually work to Luka's advantage because obviously you're going to be out there more, you're going to be active. Get your game back because he's been coming on strong. He'll only come on strong. He was a little hobbled himself Saturday night. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he's going to be able to hold up physically. If he can, and he gets his groove on because obviously repetition obviously is going to help him tremendously. So I think that could end up helping the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think the Lakers are dipping below the 3rd seed. Here's what you have to concern yourself with, Shannon. Lakers better not fall to 4 or 5. Because if you fall to 4 or 5, you get OKC in the 2nd round, assuming you win your 1st round game. And that means you go home. And that's what they got to be worried about right there. You got to avoid OKC until the conference finals. That is what this comes down to. Period.
If I got LeBron, a healthy LeBron, and engaged, reinvigorated Luka, 4 seed, mustard seed, poppy seed, Lakers in 5.
He said Lakers at 5. Lakers gonna be OKC at 5.
Hey, Wendy, I know. Wendy, I see. Wendy, I just want Wendy to know I can see him. Wendy, do you realize I can see you in this cam? And I see your motions and I see your.
Right.
You know what the worst part of it is? It's the 5. You know, maybe like Luka has a couple of 60-point games.
It's so disrespectful.
Maybe like Shea sprains his ankle. But maybe there's some miracle. LeBron's record in Game 7s is like unbelievable. He hasn't lost a Game 7 in decades. Maybe they could somehow win in 7 over circumstances. But you say in 5, that's